Hello everyone, back to today's second video. Going to have a look at the weather next 10 to 14 days. For today's second video, day 10 will take us around the 1st of November, and we'll be able to extend out beyond that with the extended GFS and ECM ensembles. Going to have a look at Beijing Climate Centre today for the next 40 days. That will take us to the end of November. So I'll get on that for you in a moment. Just to say that the first video released today was the European Outlook. That's having a look at weather in detail for the next 10 to 14 days across Northern Europe. Have a look at that and see what's going on. We're going to begin this one in the tropical Atlantic. So we've got two areas of interest. We've got a disturbance area and we've got Hurricane Epsilon. Let's deal with the disturbance area first of all. That's this yellow X down here. So that is disturbance 1 with a 0% chance of cyclone formation in the next 48 hours and a 20% chance in the next 5 days. They're saying a trough of low pressure located over Western Caribbean Sea is producing a large area of disorganized showers and thunderstorms, which primarily extend near Jamaica, the Cayman Islands, and Cuba. Development of this system is unlikely to occur during the next few days as it passes near Western Cuba and moves over Straits of Florida. By late this weekend or early next week, however, some slow development is possible while the system moves generally northeastwards from the northwestern Bahamas towards the western Atlantic. Regardless of development, locally heavy rainfall is possible over portions of Cuba, South Florida and Bahamas through early next week. It's one to watch. We've got Hurricane Epsilon up here. So this has just gone down from a Category 3 hurricane to Category 2. It's giving maximum sustained winds of 110 miles per hour with a minimum set pressure of 955 millibars, moving northwest at 7 miles per hour. Clicking on Epsilon shows what's like to happen with this hurricane. So I say, this has been a major hurricane, Category 3. It's just gone down in the last few minutes, just gone down back to a Category 2. The current position of Category 2 Hurricane Epsilon is just there. It's going to move northwards into weekend and then curve in that direction to go post-tropical by the early part of next week somewhere to the south of Iceland. It is going to give a glancing blow to Bermuda, I should say. So going back to key messages, they're saying one, tropical storm conditions are expected intermittently. Sorry about that, intermittently on Bermuda. They don't make it easy at the National Hurricane Centre, do they? Tropical storm conditions are expected intermittently on Bermuda through this evening, when Epsilon is forecast to make its closest approach east of the island. A tropical storm warning is in effect for Bermuda. Point number 2 is dangerous and potentially life-threatening surf and rip currents are expected along coasts of Bermuda, the Bahamas, the Greater Antilles, the Leeward Islands, the east coast of the US and the Atlantic coast of Canada during the next couple of days. So, as I say, this has been a Category 3. It's back down to Category 2. It will gradually weaken from here on in. But it has been a very, very significant and major hurricane. Right, this is how the surging temperature is currently looking. The CT is currently standing at 10.8, an anomaly of 0.3 of a degree below average, provisional up to 23rd. So that's come up a little bit over the past 2 or 3 days. We have been in a milder period, of course, so this has come up a little bit, but I think you're going to get quite a large downwards correction. So I think in the end, we're probably going to finish around 10.5, somewhere around there, somewhere around 10.5, I think will be our finishing point with this October. So it's not going to be particularly cold. Like a week or so, it looked like this could be, quite a significantly colder than average month, but actually I think this is going to come out very, very close to average, and for season 1 to 9, it may even come out ever so slightly above average now, I think, but not a particularly big deviation. So going to be quite similar to September, I think, really. Very, very close to long-term average. But as I say, a couple of weeks ago, a week or 10 days ago, it did look as though this October could be quite considerably colder than average. So we have seen quite a recovery in the temperature over the past few days. So that's going to carry on, I think, through the rest of the month. These are the 500 millibar height knowledge flow charts, Penn State University for the next week, 10 days. You've got the ECM GWF on the top, and the GFS, which we're going to have a look in a moment, is on the bottom. So 500 millibars is an area in actually high pressure, low pressure. I've been moved around by the jet stream running above. Red and orange extrapolates high pressure, blues low pressure. You can see that with the ECM, we've got this area of above average heights to our south. We've got below average heights to our northwest. We're bringing a strong westerly jet stream from off the Atlantic like that. So yeah, proper zonal sort of westerly type scenario with high pressure south, low pressure north. Very mild as well, by the way, on that sort of scenario. That's going to be dragging the wind up from like the central part of the Atlantic Ocean. That's going to be a very, very mild scenario. Most of the settle in the north and the west. The GFS is very similar, but it's deep with below. So this is GFS, and got this deep low pressure, deep low pressure out to our north and west. A very strong westerly jet stream coming across the Atlantic into Northern Europe as well. High pressure is to our south. It looks very Atlantic driven, wet, windy and zonal with the GFS. They're both very similar though, all really, really Atlantic driven. These are the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles for the next couple of weeks. So looking at rugby today. So red line is a 30-year upper air temperature average for rugby. So we're starting off sort of close to average at the moment. We're going to see temperatures very up and down. This is all indicative of zonality. So actually let's deal with it this way. So we're in a cooler sector just here and here. We're going to be in a warmer sector just there. Cooler sector just here. Warmer sector just there. Cooler sector just here. Looks like we've got a bit of a warmer sector through there. As time goes on, you lose the zonal sine wave, but probably a cooler sector there, something like that. But you can clearly make out like the zonal sine wave through the first part of the ensemble, and then as we reach a low res section, you do lose that zonal sine wave a little bit. But it looks very, very zonal. So warmer and cooler sectors alternating with one another probably brings the temperature out quite close to average at this time of the year. Precipitation anomalies or ensembles look like that. So next couple of days going to be relatively dry. We've got some very wet weather coming late Saturday and into Sunday, then a bit drier again, and then more wet weather through the middle and second half of next week up to the open November. It does look unsettled. Temperature anomalies on the 22nd to the 30th of October going to be very close to average. A little bit of a for the south, near normal further north. Not a particularly big deviation either way. Rainfall anomalies, precipitation anomalies from the 22nd to 30th of October going to be wetter than average in the northwest, near normal down in the south and southeast. Here's today's wind flow map from earthnullschool.net showing that low pressure is dominating the weather. So we've got lots of low pressure around the country. Got a low pressure through there. Got more low pressure up here, and yeah, so the next batch of wet and windy weather is on its way. That will be, see a band of shower rain moving across the country tomorrow, and then we've got proper wet and windy weather heading in on Saturday. If I drag the map around, let's do this, we'll pull this around, and we'll zoom in, shall we? Let's zoom in. Have a look at Epsilon. So that is Hurricane Epsilon just there, looking very, very dramatic. You can clearly make out the eye of the hurricane, the centre of the storm. Very, very strong winds wrapped around Epsilon as well. So yeah, that is a Category 2 hurricane, just gone down from a Category 3 major. Right, so this is how the UK Met is looking for Sunday. You can see Epsilon here, by the way, moving into the far left-hand corner of the chart as we're looking at it. That will be with us later in the week. But for Sunday, it's this low pressure to west of Scotland that will be driving in more wet and windy weather from off the Atlantic. Into Monday, again, Monday's going to be a rather showery day, slightly cooler as well. And then into Tuesday, we've got the remains of Epsilon to the south of Greenland and Iceland, bringing wet and windy weather in from off the Atlantic. So here we go into Wednesday, 144 hours, wet and windy weather pushing across the country. This is GFS 6Z. So again, Sunday we're taking a band of rain, Saturday into sunny across the country, then replacing it with sunshine and showers. Showery and a little bit drier on Monday. We'll be a bit colder on Monday too. And then Tuesday to Wednesday, wet and windy weather heads in from off the Atlantic. So further strong winds and outbreaks of rain there. And then we go into second half next week, looking very unsettled again. Further secondary areas of low pressure coming in across the country from the Atlantic ahead of the, or around the main low that's to the south of Iceland and Greenland. So these little secondary features will bring further wet and windy weather at times right way up to day 10. That is day 10, Sunday the 1st of November, and we're looking very unsettled. Means unsettled conditions carry on into the extended range. Very tight backed ice bars there on Monday the 2nd, with gales blasting across the south, even severe gales perhaps, and heavy rain too. Then slightly colder for Tuesday the 3rd as the wind swings into the north, but it's only a transient thing, and then we're back into milder west-southwesterlies again by the end of the GFS run, which gets us today to the 5th of November, to bonfire night. That's how GM is looking. So again, Sunday we clear away wet and windy weather, turn cool and showery. Monday will be a slightly quieter day, but quite cool and showery. And then into the middle of next week, low pressure coming in off the Atlantic. That will bring showers, if not some longer spells of rain. Again, it's associated with the remains of Epsilon in the North Atlantic. We just keep these wet and windy conditions piling in from off the Atlantic right way up to day 10 with the GM. Although by day 10, which is the 3rd of November, we're possibly seeing a little bit of a ridge building then. So maybe going a little bit drier and colder by day 10 with the gem. And we've got the GWV, and again, we're looking very unsettled here on Sunday, the 25th of October, with low pressure dominating the weather, cool and showery into Monday the 2nd. And then Tuesday, 27th, looks like that. So a little bit of a transient ridge ahead of this very deep storm system in the Atlantic that contains the remains of Epsilon. That delivers us into wet and windy weather by Wednesday the 28th of October. And then second half next week, further low pressure barreling in from the Atlantic, keeping things unsettled. Eventually start to pull up some much milder winds from the southwest by day 10, which is Sunday the 1st of November, looking very mild by then, with winds coming up from the southwest, high pressure south, low pressure to the north. Have a look at the upper air temperatures. You can see how extensive the mild temperatures are. Look at that, bathed in the plus 10 Celsius isotherm, so a very, very mild start to November with that one. This is a rainfall forecast based on that ECM run from Tameteo.com. So a rat through this very quick. You can see rain coming and going really quickly. Showers, longer spells, rain. Very wet on Saturday across many parts of the country and into the early hours of Sunday. Sunny itself, going to be a case of sunshine and showers. Then early next week again, this remains of Epsilon coming in off the Atlantic, bringing another bout of wet and windy weather through the middle part of next week. Then we're back to showers, then more sort of rain or showers in the north and west as we go up towards day 10. And we get to day 10, and here we are, we've got more rain in the north and west end, and we're pushing up those very mild southwesterly winds. These are the options on the table within the ECM ensembles today for day 10, which gets us to the 1st of November from the Icelandic Med Times. We've got 19 members of the ECM ensembles with low pressure away to our north and west. High pressure is to our south. Winds are coming up from a southwesterly direction. It includes the control on the operational run, by the way. So that's going to be very, very mild with that option. 17, again, with high pressure pretty much centered over top of the country. Lots of dry weather in with that. 11 have low pressure over top of the country. That's going to be the most unsettled option. That'll be very, very unsettled for the 1st of November. And then 4, a minority option, has high pressure over Scandinavia and probably bringing in an easterly wind. So that's probably going to be the driest and coldest option. Most options seem to involve building up some higher pressure for day 10, the start of November. But where the high pressure sits, of course, is critical to the feel of the weather. In 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got. This gets us to the 6th of November. 32 members of the ECM ensembles then have high pressure over and just to the west of the country and could be pulling in the winds from like a bit of an easterly direction, so dry and potentially quite cold with that. And then 19 with low pressure up to our north, in come the westerly winds with that one. So the most unsettled option, of course, is the 19 we've got there. But we have got 32 that are dominated by high pressure and could be dry but quite cold. Finally, just have a look at the Beijing Climate Centre before we go. So these are 500 millibar heights broken down into 10-day periods. The first 10-day period is going to take us from the 21st to the 30th of October. By the way, we've sorted out all the problems at the Beijing Climate Centre now, so you can access all of these charts again with like Google Chrome and Firefox and all of the modern web browsers. So there's no problem now going to Beijing Climate Centre and seeing these charts for yourself. So this is days 1 to 10. 21st to 30th of October looks very unsettled. Low pressure is in off the Atlantic, strong westerly jet stream as well. So wet and windy for the rest of October basically sums it up. The next 10-day period takes us from the 31st of October to the 9th of November with high pressure to our south, low pressure to the north. Winds are coming in from a westerly direction. Rather unsettled first 10 days to November as well, but probably quite mild. Next 10-day period is going to be from the 10th to the 19th of November. Some above average heights found more in the North Atlantic, below average heights to our east and northeast, centered over Scandinavia. Winds are like going northwest southeast with that one. So possibly going a little bit cooler there, maybe a bit colder, but also a little bit drier as well. That might be a little bit of a cold snap showing up there through the middle of November. And then we go through to days 31 to 40, which is the 20th to 29th of November. High pressure event is in middle of Atlantic, low pressure is to the north, winds are like west to slightly northwesterly. So again, the idea is a little bit unsettled, but possibly a bit on the cool side here, with a bit of a northwest southeast alignment to the jet stream. I think the second half of November could be shaping up to be a bit cooler or even colder compared to the first half, with winds going northwest southeast and northwest southeast alignment to jet stream. And we'll go too over the top. Too far with cold weather, because we have got to take that high pressure northwards really to get a proper northerly blast going. That high pressure got to go northward. So it's not sort of a classic cold spell, but I think it's certainly cooler into the second half of November with a dip in the jet stream, something like that going on, and a northwest southeast alignment of the low pressures and of the jet stream as well. So a mild first half of November, possibly replaced by a cooler second half of November. Of course, it's a very, very long way out. For the rest of October, looks very unsettled. Low pressure, dominating weather, plenty more rain to come. And temperatures averaging out, probably not too far from average. Warmer and colder sectors alternating with one another. And then we go into November and we turn very mild, potentially early on in November, and then something a little bit cooler later on. Right, that's it for your videos for today. Tomorrow we're going to have GWV Friday, we're going to have a 10 to 14 day video update tomorrow, and as well as all that, we're going to have the ECMWF 42-day look ahead, looking at the weather for the next 6 weeks with the ECMWF. That'll be tomorrow evening. It's going to be absolutely fantastic, and it'll take us into the beginning of December, can you believe? So come back for tomorrow's videos, but for today's videos, that's all for now, and thanks for watching.